I'm not trying to hurt anybody. For me, it seems like you're trying to take away those opportunities for those people.
But you realize I filed the suit to protect them.
Protect who?
Those individuals you just listed.
The people that
All
Ernest
of those poor
Hold
people.
on, counsel, ask a question. You see Miss Sampson?
I talked to her this morning. I talked to her this morning. She should be here.
Okay. I received Mr. Harris's jury instructions again. I still haven't got, instead of stipulated, proposed, so we're gonna be paying lunch together, it looks like.
I think we all agreed, as far as progress goes, I think we all agreed on the general ones from my
So
understanding.
the stock ones that Mr. Harris has provided to me are the ones that we're gonna accept?
Oh, okay, I thought, yeah, I understand what you're saying. I thought the Franklin also produced some, that they had the sources on that they were supposed to provide clean stuff. I think they match. So I think the court also said he wants to follow the form, like on breach of contract and civil. It seems like those have been corrected, so I think we're okay with those.
I did a new copy last night. I emailed them over to you. There's a copy right there on my desk.
I saw them, I looked at them this morning.
Okay, before we're gonna have to meet, because we're gonna have to finalize these, because I'm gonna have to copy them off, print them off, and get them all ready, so we're gonna be meeting at lunch to make sure these can get finalized.
I have another proposed one, and I got the source and also a clean copy of that.
Okay.
I want to present it now.
Yeah, present that, give
I
counsel
got
a
a
copy.
copy now, and
Fantastic.
thank you.
No, this is new.
Just one. Yeah.
I know it's just one, but it's new.
Yes.
Just now. No, I also made a redacted copy of Exhibit 4
Okay, perfect,
that I have 2 copies of.
perfect, go ahead and approach.
Yeah, thank you.
You already have a clean version. I just waited one sort of, you have to clean it now, or?
The source is fine.
Okay, thank you.
I want the source first.
And this is just addressing the issue that came up yesterday or during Mr. Harris's testimony about our complaints being confidential, and we had a disagreement on that, so this is the instruction that you clear that up.
First look at that, here's an opportunity. Okay, my understanding, we're gonna have Mr. Franklin on the stand first this morning, is that correct, counsel?
That's correct.
Okay. In regards to the opening, in regards to statements that were made, Mr. Harris, I reviewed the jabs last night. There was no appropriate objection made. The statement was, in my opinion, inappropriate, but since the objection was not made, not waged, I'm not going to be doing any type of curative or curative instruction.
Judge, I understand. I just recently, I can't remember the name of the case, but we have a very new Supreme Court case that indicated to us that it's probably not most appropriate to object during opening statements or closing argument, and that those objections could be preserved so as to.
Right, and that's
You
why I
didn't have to
said,
make
I
the
reviewed
objection.
it and said it was an innocuous statement, and although it was inappropriate, I don't believe that it has any detrimental impact in regards to it. The statement was that you are an attorney, which is a fact, and that basically attorneys, their job is to resolve disputes. That's the statement was made.
Well, I think he came back at it yesterday, that he wasn't done, and he started with you're an arbitrator,
That's
and
a
why didn't
different
you go
story.
through arbitration, and I think all that was very inappropriate, and irrelevant, but wholly inappropriate.
Right, but that part was not in the opening. That part you have to object to. Reserving it for the opening, I said, the statements that he made in opening, okay, that you're an attorney and that you are basically trained to resolve disputes, I don't find that prejudicial in regards to it. Those are facts. You are an attorney, and basically attorneys resolve disputes. The stuff that was said yesterday was not objected to. That's what I'm saying. That portion of it, you didn't preserve your objection.
But I do believe Mr. Doyle did object.
He made a statement was objection, Your Honor, and that was it. That was the extent of it. I read over through that also. That's what was extent of his objection. Objection, Your Honor. Objection, what? We've been getting those all the time in this case. When a lawyer states objection, they have to state the grounds for the objection. Just stating objection is not about objection.
But I thought he said it was irrelevant, Your Honor. That was my recollection, that it was irrelevant.
Okay, I'm not going to do any curative instruction.
I've got 2 points. Number one, on this issue we're talking about here. Oh,
You won, counsel, so why are we talking?
just that Kurt, well, it's relevant because the testimony all along, Kurt says, I didn't want to be here, I tried everything, it's
I understand
a
that,
lot of
counsel.
that, right. And number 2 is on the special damage issue, I just want to clarify that we did file a motion for rulings and the objection was made essentially that special damages, there was no documentation and computation. Here's the thing, I'll be real clear. He put a vague lump sum, breach of contract, that's not damages. What we heard from Mr. Harris, Cam Harris, is lost time and all this, and I'm like, that's a category of special damage, category never provided. Number one, on computation, no documentation, number two. And that's just basic 16.1A. So, and therefore, for him to pop it up at the first time during testimony, I think it's wrong and unfair, and so that's my position.
If you look at the numbers that he did counsel and the numbers that he stated, basically the $15,000 and then the additional amount to us, it reaches the plateau or the minimum that he said in his breach of contract.
And also, Mr. Cam Harris was not a party of the contract, so I'm not exactly sure which.
Well, I think as the office manager, he understands ramifications and the input of the contract counselor.
Right, I'm saying, but in terms of the breach of contract claim, Mr. Harris is a party of that contract. Mr. Harris and Mr. Cam Harris saying his lost time and his income, that doesn't relate to the breach of contract claim, so I suppose it must attach to some other one, for example, the business disparagement.
Fair.
Okay, that's all I want to point that out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, is there a jury in here?
All right, for the jury?
Counsel stipulate the presence of the jury.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been talking to the council this morning. It's our understanding that we're going to basically have a couple of additional witnesses on behalf of the defense, at which time after that is done, what will happen is then plaintiff has the right to rebut or call rebuttal witnesses if in fact they plan on calling any, and then we'll go right into jury instructions and basically closing arguments. I anticipate, and I can't really, it's tough to tell how long someone's answers might be, but I anticipate that at the earliest, you might be receiving this case late tonight. If not, it'll be probably early tomorrow morning. So you'll be deliberating, like I said, we'll have it done in a week for you. So this case should be to you for your deliberations either late tonight or early tomorrow morning, okay? And if in fact go during deliberations tomorrow, I'll break open the piggy bank and we will buy lunch for you guys tomorrow. I hope you like capriati's because that's all we get. And I am so tired of a bobby. I don't even eat Thanksgiving dinners anymore because I have too many bobbies. All right, counsel, we ready to go?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, call your next witness.
Calling Michael Franklin.
Franklin, please approach the stand.
Over, sir. Everybody stand, please. Up there.
You do solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please state and spell your first and last name for the record, please.
Michael Franklin, M-I-C-H-A-E-L, Franklin, F-R-A-N-K-L-I-N.
Morning, Mr. Franklin, go ahead and have a seat. If you just speak up just a little bit.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Counsel, your witness.
Thank you, Judge. What is your address? What is your current address, sir?
My current address is apartment. My dad, which is I live with, I also, stay with my dad sometimes because he's sick.
What is your occupation?
I do graphics and website design, and I'm an instructor for Las Vegas Professional Institute of Technology and Accounting.
Could you speak a little bit, sir?
I do graphic and website design, and I'm an instructor for Las Vegas Professional Institute of Technology and Accounting.
What do you do there?
I teach graphic and website design.
And what could you explain to the jury and each of us what you do as a website designer?
I create graphics for websites and just create websites for people who need websites. And I do graphic design for marketing and advertising and all that.
Hold on a second.
Do you work for a company or something?
I have my own company and I work for the school.
Where do you get your clients?
I get clients through LinkedIn. I get clients through referrals. I've done a lot of work in the community, so mostly referrals. But I've gotten a few clients from LinkedIn and Google and all types of stuff.
Could you explain to me, and the jury, what you do when you get a client in terms of your website creation and design?
Usually when I get a client, They provide me with content that they want on the website, and I develop the website and turn the website over to the client under their name, and you know, so that way they have access to use their own website. Sometimes I'll have a client, I'll do website maintenance or marketing for the client if they pay me to do that as well. But mostly I try to make sure that when they buy a website, I don't own it, they own it. I make sure that they have the ownership of the website. So I try to make sure that happens. And a lot of marketing companies, you know, don't do that. They hold the ownership, and then for some reasons they don't have the website. You have to get a new domain name and all of that good stuff.
Where do you get the content on the website you created for the client?
I get the content from the client, and unless they pay me to do research.
And how do you verify that the information they're asking you to put on the website, do you make sure that it's true and correct?
I wouldn't do that. It depends on the business. Usually, they know their business, so they'll share the information. So I usually don't have to verify any information about their business. They know about their business.
The allegation here is that you created a website for the divorced fathers, the
Just gonna
equal
object.
rights for divorced fathers, and you had certain information on it. How did you happen to create that website?
Just objecting to the form of the question, Your Honor. It states facts that are.
She asked him how he went about designing the website.
She said there was an allegation. He admitted all this.
Okay, well, counsel, you can do that across. Go ahead, counsel, continue.
I got approached by a client, which I stated also his name in my deposition, and he wanted me to put this information on the website, and I did. I put the information on the website, tried to make it look at least a little bit decent, and tried to share it with him, and was not ever able to get back in contact with the client, not ever to get paid. But yeah, the information was posted online, and it was taken down within 24 hours. It was put under construction.
What does that mean?
Under construction is when.
Just gonna object, Your Honor. It's a narrative at this point.
I'll allow it, go ahead.
Under construction, when you put a website under construction, the content is hidden under it just shows a construction page, and you cannot see the content on the website anymore.
How did you come to use the website for divorced fathers?
Well, the information was about equal rights for divorced fathers, so I looked up the domain name, and the domain name was available.
What do you mean by the domain name was available?
You go to GoDaddy is where you look for domain names. So you go and you type in the domain name, and if it's available, then you can buy it.
And so what did you do?
I bought the domain name. I put the information on the website. I published the website so that the client can see it and get approval. I never got approval. I put it under construction, still tried to get approval, still never got approval. So it's been down ever since.
So how soon after you constructed it, did you take it down?
Within 24 hours. It was under construction within 24 hours.
You testified that someone asked you to do the website. The allegations have been made that Mr. Del Casal was the one who asked you to create the website. Is
No.
that true?
No, it was not. It was not Ernest Del Casal who asked me to do it,
Can
and
you
I
tell the
testified
name
to
of the
that
person
in my deposition.
Can you tell the name of the person who asked you to do the website?
His name was Ryan.
And where did you meet Ryan?
At an event for the Philam Chamber of Commerce. They have frequent events in all over Las Vegas, and they usually introduce me as a website developer. And so everyone always knows that everywhere I go, even with the Philippine Times.
Objection, Your Honor, is a narrative.
Sustain on that one. Next question, counsel.
So you got it from you met the client at the
At the
event,
Chamber of Commerce event.
and he provided you the,
He provided me the information.
did you steal the website?
Did I steal the website? No, I did not steal the website. It was available.
Did there come a time when you heard from Mr. Harris that the website belonged to him?
I got a letter from Kurt Harris, and for me, the original letter felt very threatening. So I did respond to the letter.
What do you mean by this, what threatening?
He was threatening to, well, first he was asking me to lie and say that I got the information from Ernest Del Casal, and I didn't. And then he said, if I don't, then I'm probably gonna get a judgment against me and it's gonna be a financial risk. So that's basically what the letter said. I don't have it in front of me, but that's what I remember from the letter.
And what did you do in response? Did you respond to that letter?
Yeah, I responded to the letter, and I told him that I didn't get the information from him, and I told him that that at that time, I didn't get paid for it, so there's no sense in me keeping it. So if he could just buy the domain name. I offered 2 domain names. I offered equalrightsfordivorcedfathers.com and equalrightsfordivorcedfathers.net. .net was available. I never purchased .net. I purchased equalrightsfordivorcedfathers.com. At that point, I asked him to contact me, and we can talk about the price. All I wanted was the money that I was going to get for building the website. That's all I wanted.
Did he contact you?
And he said he didn't want to pay for the domain name twice, and so you pay for domain names yearly. You constantly have to pay for your domain name. So I don't understand why he said he doesn't want to pay for the domain name twice.
Did he respond to
He
your
abandoned the domain name. Excuse me.
letter? Did you respond?
Objection, Your Honor, it's leading.
Okay. Did you respond as leading?
Well, it's leading to what his answer was.
Oh, all right. Did you respond? That's all he asked. And yes, he did. He said he wrote a letter.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
Did you hear from him after that?
He kept sending threatening letters, threatening to add me to the case, and kept asking me to tell him that he didn't take my answer, so he kept asking me to tell him that it was Ernest, and I just didn't get the information from Ernest. Me and Ernest were not friends at the time.
Did you know Ernest at all?
I knew Ernest.
Prior to him
Yeah,
getting
I
that?
knew.
Sir, let her finish your question first.
Did you know Ernest prior to getting the letter from Mr. Harris?
Yeah, I knew Ernest. I knew Ernest from a long time ago. We were not friends. I just did a couple of, did a few things for him. I do things for a lot of people, but I just did a few things for him. We were never friends. I never stayed in the office more than 30 minutes.
There was a lot of evidence that Mr. Harris presented that indicated that you were calling him an extortionist, that he was extorting money. Could you explain how that came about?
Well, I felt that in the first letters that he sent me, it seemed like he was threatening me to, that I was gonna get a financial judgment against me if I didn't lie. And I didn't wanna lie, so that's what I said in my letters. I explained that in the deposition. During the deposition, I told him the name. He mentioned recently that there.
Objection, Your Honor. It calls for a hearsay, and I'm not exactly sure what he's saying I mentioned and where it was.
I mentioned.
Hold on 1 second.
So if I could get some
The question you're
foundation.
saying is based on hearsay.
Yes, based on hearsay, and then if I could get some foundation. I understand that I'm here in the courtroom, but.
Okay, I understand. Counsel, let's go ahead and lay the foundation in regards to the conversation in regards to that.
Did you ever have any conversation with Mr. Harris? I'm sorry, after you had the conversations, and let me rephrase that, after you got the letters from Mr. Harris and you responded to him in writing, did you ever talk to him directly?
No, I never talked to him directly.
And the other question, what did you said you met Mr. Del Casal, and how did you meet him?
I got referred to Equal Rights for Divorced Fathers by a good friend of mine that I went to church with named Aaron. And that's another name that I mentioned in my deposition. And, at the time I was trying to get custody, or there were things that are going on between my daughter's mom and my daughters. And I decided to try to get custody of my daughters. So I went there, he told me that it's a good place, and everybody in the community knew about Equal Rights for Divorced Fathers. Everybody in my community, as I was growing up, knew about Equal Rights for Divorced Fathers and what they did for men in the community. It was for divorced fathers. It was for, I think it was, from what I understand, it was a men's group to help people who were less fortunate, people who didn't have money to pay high attorney fees. So I got referred to the company, and it
Objection, Your Honor. It's a narrative at this point.
Stand.
So you went, did they help you?
Yeah, they helped me. I got joint legal custody of my daughters. It was a pretty ugly case, but I got joint legal custody of my daughters. That was the first time I went there. I went there one more time.
For what purpose?
To get custody of my son, because he was in a messed up situation with, his mom had passed away, and he was living with his auntie, and and they were on drugs, and they all ended up dying from the drugs that they were on.
Objection, Your Honor. It's irrelevant at this point.
Okay, yeah, sir, just take the question. Okay?
Yes.
Sustain.
Well,
Did
I
they help
understand,
you?
you understand the question, you went back to get, the second time you went
Yeah, I
back,
went back
was to get custody of your son.
my son.
Okay, that's your answer.
And did they help you again?
yeah, they helped me get custody of my son.
Do you remember what that atmosphere was like when you went there those two times?
It was a men's group. It seemed like, for me, it seemed like how they have a battered women's shelter. For me, it seemed like a battered shelter for men, because divorce is a hard thing. So it seemed like a place where men can go and have conversations and fight for themselves.
Who
That's
was
what it
in
seemed
charge
like.
there at the time you went there on those two occasions?
That was Ernest. It was Ernest.
Had you ever gone to their office since Mr. Harris took
Nope.
over?
I've never gone to the office since.
We were talking about, prior to the objection, why you called Mr. Harris in many documents from the web that he presented, you said that he was an extortionist. Could you explain to the jury why?
Because it seemed like he was trying to either extort money and try to get me to lie, or was trying to hide something. It seemed to me very weird how they did business together for a very long time, and they both collected. a lot of
Objection, Your
money.
Honor. This time calls for speculation.
Sustain.
There were websites showing that you had continued, after this lawsuit was filed against you, that you had continued to put documents on the web about Mr. Harris. Why did you do that?
Because I was hurt because of the organization, that Equal Rights for Divorced Fathers, the company that was there before that helped the community. From the previous testimony that I've heard in here over the last 4 days and 4 years.
I'm going to object, Your Honor. At this point, it's non-responsive to the question.
Overruled.
I'm responding to.
Overruled, go ahead, continue.
For the testimony that I heard over the last 4 days and over the last 4 years, that organization helped out countless attorneys. It helped out George Boyer. George Boyer, who they have admitted that he's.
Objection, Your
that he
Honor.
needs help.
Okay, hold on a second. Sir, just listen to the question and have a rephrase the question, okay? What was the question again, Counselor, and just listen to that question. Restate it.
What's the question? Why did you
Yes,
continue?
why did he continue to post
to
on the internet
post
those
on the
statements?
internet about Mr. Harris?
Well, there was several reasons, because first off, he was attacking me. He was saying that I stole something from him, and I never stole anything. I bought a domain name that was abandoned. He was saying that I hijacked the Google listing, and I created the Google listing. That's one of the things I did for Ernest. I was never taken off the Google listing. So at that time, yes, I changed the Google listing. I never hijacked anything. From previous testimony, he said they're saying that they didn't want any of that stuff. So, you know, the information that was on that website, by having the Google listing, I get the reviews. I get alerts from the reviews that happen because I created the Google listing. I'm not sure when they took it over, but I created it, so I got the Google reviews and I saw the information that was on there. So it kind of fit the information that was on the website. And now, now I really believe it because I see what's going on here today.
Okay, but so is that what, did you explain the reason that you continued to?
The reason I continued to, because I kept getting accusations of things that I didn't do. And so that's why I responded. A lot of the time, it was the videos that I watched, it was the video, you know, the stuff that was, I was commenting on some of the videos of the court hearing. There were people who were responding to the court hearing. So I commented on those videos and I've tried to plead my case. And that's why.
Why did you post on Mr. Del Casal website?
I didn't post on Mr. Del Casal website. Mr. Del Casal didn't have a website to post on.
The allegation that you and Mr. Casal were conspiring against Mr. Harris.
I believe he's referring to the Facebook post. After being involved in this, and like I said, Ernest Del Casal wasn't my friend prior to this. After being involved in this case, and after talking to him and hearing all of the stuff that he said, you know, we started to become friends after that. So a lot of the stuff that's being said today, it hurts me and it hurts the, you know, I don't want to get into a big narrative, but a lot of.
I'm gonna object, Your
Hold on,
Honor. It's non-responsive.
He's responding, Counsel. Go ahead. Sure. Go ahead.
But I cried. I had to cry because I think about all of the stuff that equal rights divorce fathers had done for the community, had done for Kurt Harris, had did for George Boyer, had did for Scott Caterer, the things that he did for George Saflita. All of them guys were making money and working with the company. He gave all of them people a chance to be where they are today. They're still there today. They started with Ernest Del Casal. They didn't start with Kurt Harris. So I'm sad. I've been crying all day because this company that helped the community, helped my community, was being abused by this man. And you know, now I'm being abused and I didn't do anything wrong. I feel like the information was a matter of public interest.
Objection, Your Honor.
Counsel.
It's non-responsive narrative at this time, and his feelings really are irrelevant to why he continued to post.
Well, she asked him specifically why he continued to post, and he gave his explanation, Counsel. I'm gonna allow it. Next question,
I have
Counsel.
no further questions, Judge.
Okay. Cross. Mr. Needham, do you wanna go first?
No, I'll let Mr. Harris go.
Well, do you have any cross?
Got a cross now.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Harris, cross-examination.
Thank you, Your Honor. So, you're the victim now?
Objection.
I do believe.
Here, hold on. What's the objection, Counselor?
I'm not sure why, because you're a victim now, what is that for?
He just said he was. Your own witness just said that, and so he's asking him why he thinks he's a victim. Go ahead, sir. Why do you believe you're a victim?
I do believe I'm a victim because, the organization was
No, I'm asking why you're a victim.
because you accused me of things that I didn't do.
What did I accuse you of doing
You accused me of
that you
stealing.
did not do?
You
Please let me
accused-
finish my
Oh,
question.
I'm sorry.
Could you show me anywhere where I accused you of stealing? Anywhere,
Anywhere?
yes,
Do
anywhere.
we
You haven't produced
Wait,
any,
Counsel, you asked a question.
I remember the testimony, all of the times that we've been here. I remember you saying that I stole the website. I never stole the website. The
I'm
website
not
was
asking what
granted.
you heard me
Wait,
say.
wait, Mr. Franklin, what we're asking now, not during the litigation, before the litigation started, when you were making the posts, based upon that time period, so guys, do the time period
That was during the litigation.
Okay, so during the time of those posts, at that time period, it's your statement that Mr. Harris was telling you that you had stolen something from him?
Yes,
Okay, and that's why you continue to post?
yes, because I
Okay,
didn't.
next question, Counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. And so now you feel you're a victim.
Yes, I feel like I'm a victim right now.
How many other people have you created websites about and gone on and changed their Google listing?
No one.
Why me?
Because I got because of the Google reviews.
No, at the time, now you remember having your deposition taken.
Yes, I remember that.
Now, at the time that I asked you in the deposition, I asked you the question. Do you remember the questions were asked and the answers were given?
Yes,
Do you remember me asking you, and you were under oath, if you knew anything about me prior to posting? What was your answer?
I didn't know anything about you.
Thank you. And you knew nothing about what was going on at my firm after I took over.
I had Google reviews, but I didn't know anything about you.
You didn't know a thing. You
About
knew
you.
nothing about anyone that worked there, correct?
I knew about a lot of people that work there.
You didn't know anything about me from anyone that worked there at the time that you posted it.
Excuse me?
You didn't know anything about me or the operation at the time you posted this website.
I knew about the company.
I didn't ask you that.
I didn't know about you, but
Thank
I knew
you.
about the company.
You didn't know anything about it, and yet you published a very malicious website. What was your intention?
I felt it was a matter of public interest.
Why would anyone feel that a private firm is a matter of public interest?
Because it wasn't originally a private firm. It was originally a men's group to help fathers who were less fortunate.
Tell the jury
Hold
what.
on, sir, let him.
Sorry, Your Honor.
Yeah, it was a men's group to help fathers who were less fortunate.
Please tell the jury what you witnessed that I ever stole.
I don't know. I never said
Please
you
tell the
stole.
jury.
Hold on, let him finish his answer.
I never said you stole.
Please tell the jury what it is that you witnessed that I was untrustworthy about, that you personally witnessed prior to posting the website.
Prior to posting the website, I didn't know anything about you. I knew about the business.
Please tell the jury prior to your posting the website what you personally witnessed extortion that I committed
At what time frame?
prior to posting the website.
I didn't say anything about extortion in the website.
Please tell the jury prior to posting this website what corruption you have personal knowledge of that I was involved in.
Okay, first off, I didn't write the content.
Well-
At this point,
Let me ask you about that, because at your
Hold on,
deposition,
sir, let him still finish. Sir, slow down a second. He hasn't finished your answer yet. Go ahead and finish your answer on that question.
I didn't write the content, but at this point, the way I'm looking at things, and it seems like to me, I feel like all the information is true, and I can explain why.
prior to publishing the website, could you explain why any of that was true?
Prior to publishing the website,
Thank you for repeating my question, but yes.
there's no reason for me to believe that it was false.
None at all?
None.
You knew George Boyer, didn't you?
Yeah, I knew George.
And did you know him as you described him in the website that you published?
As far as being
No, just answer the question.
as far as being an ex-felon, no.
So why on earth would you believe that?
Well,
What led you to believe that? What would lead you to
You gotta
think
answer the
that?
question you're asking.
because I don't know. Okay.
Thank you, no, that's fine.
Okay, you asked
No,
the
sir, no,
question.
finish his answer. So basically, the question is, when you published that portion of him, that he was a felon, you had no knowledge of that him being a felon, correct? Did you have any knowledge that he was a felon?
Actually, I've been there before,
Did you know he was an
I
ex-felon?
did, actually.
Okay, how did you come about the knowledge that he was an ex-felon before you posted it on the website?
I've heard him talk about it in the office.
Okay, so when you were in the office for these brief times of 30 minutes or less, you heard this gentleman talk about him being an ex-felon?
It was
Him personally?
It was 30 minutes. It was 30 minutes at different days.
Right, but you heard that individual.
And George Boyer was actually the one who did my paperwork. I sat down with George and got my paperwork.
And did Mr. Boyer tell you during any of these sit-down meetings or any of the times that you visited this place that he was in fact an ex-felon?
George didn't, but I heard it in the office.
Okay, so you heard a rumor in the office. Okay, next question, Councilman.
Thank you, Your Honor. So George, you think he's a bad guy?
No, I don't think he's a bad guy. I don't think because you have a felony one time, that makes you a bad person. People change.
Why would you want to publish something like that then? And why do you now stand behind it?
Well, now I stand, okay. At that time, I published it because I was getting paid to publish it.
You just wanted to make a buck, that's what you said at your deposition, right?
I build websites. I think people, when you own a business, your goal is to make money.
But in your deposition, you said to make a buck.
Isn't that what you said? When you have a business, your goal is to make money, correct?
So in your website, you said you wanted to make a buck.
I wanted to make money. That's why I build websites.
Did you make a buck?
I actually did not. I actually spent a lot of money so far.
Why would you spend so much money to publish something that you had no knowledge and you didn't know me and you didn't know my son? Why would you spend your money to publish something like that?
I spent $9 and it wasn't for me.
How much was domain by proxy?
Domain by proxy is $9.
Okay, so how much was the website?
Oh, I'm sorry, about $20.
So now the truth is it was 20 and not $9.
Yeah, about $20.
Okay, and $20 really not a big deal to you?
No.
Okay. Now, you stated that, have you been convicted of felony?
No.
Just charged?
Yes.
And you said to the jury that you teach at some professional institute of graphic and web designer?
Yes.
And do you teach your students that it's okay to go online and to publish content that you don't know is true and you know nothing about?
Why would I teach my students, like, what's the point?
Do you teach your students that it is okay to go onto Google listing pages and redirect web traffic from one's website to a website that they are creating?
I don't teach my students to be advocates of the community, but I try to hope that they were.
Would that be wrong to do that?
Wrong to be an advocate of the community, or wrong to teach students to be an advocate of the community?
Wrong in relation to my question, which was, would it be wrong to go online to a Google landing page and to change the button from website to redirect it over to a false and fraudulent website full of malicious rumors about that company?
I believe it would be wrong in a certain context,
So why did you do it?
because in the context of which I did it, I didn't feel that it was wrong.
At the time, you didn't know any of it was true.
I knew about the business, I just didn't know about you.
And you really still don't, do you?
I know a lot more than I did before.
Because you've done a lot of research and you've done a lot of publishing since that time, right?
I wouldn't say that. I would say that it's because of the testimony that I've heard and the things that you've said about this man over here who's giving you an opportunity, who's given George Boyer an opportunity, who's given George Saflita an opportunity, who's given Scott Cater an opportunity, who's given countless other fathers in the community opportunities.
And you realize that my purpose in bringing this suit is to protect those individuals that you're trying to hurt, right?
I'm not trying to hurt anybody. For me, it seems like you're trying to take away those opportunities for those people.
But you realize I filed this suit to protect them.
Protect who?
Those individuals you just listed.
The people that
All
Ernest
of
helped?
those poor
Hold on,
people.
hold on. Counsel, ask a question and sir, answer the question.
You realize that was the purpose of the lawsuit, right?
The purpose of the.
Do you understand, sir? Hold on. Do you understand the purpose of this lawsuit? Do you have a personal belief as to what the purpose was?
I do not have.
Okay,
I
next
do not
question.
know what-
Okay.
Next question.
So if I told you the whole purpose of the lawsuit was never about me, but it was to protect those people who depend upon that income, whose families depend upon that income, would that surprise you?
I don't think that you did it for that reason.
Well, I'm not asking you what you think. You don't know, do you?
At this point, I do.
How do you know that?
Because,
Have you spoken with each and every one of them
No.
who depend upon income?
no, but I listened to their testimony.
Did you talk to George about, you heard his testimony where he said he's got 2 kids to raise?
I heard
He's a
that.
single dad, you understand that,
I
right?
heard that, and I understand that he had that when Ernest gave him the opportunity to do that, and then you decided to take over the company and change it into something that was no longer really a help for the community. That's what I understand. That's what I think.
Well, who in the community, just name one person,
Me,
that was not helped? Just name one.
name one person that was not helped
Yes.
under your, while you earned the company?
Yes.
I don't know.
No, just name one.
I don't know. I wasn't around when you owned the company.
Thank you. So you really don't know what you're talking about, do you?
I do know what I'm talking about, but because I'm going off the testimony that I've heard over the last 4 days and the accusations that I heard over the last few years and the things that I've seen,
We're talking about district publications.
I'm talking about the publications. The publication talks about the
Now,
previous company and it talks about the company after you
you remember
took over.
your deposition, and you remember when I asked you if it would be wrong to go to a Google landing page and to redirect that, correct?
I believe it'd be wrong in a certain context.
Now, when you went there to make that change, what did you see? Please tell the jury what you saw. Well, who was there
What do you mean?
when you went to that button? See, I don't know. We need you
What
to
I
explain
saw-
what you did.
What I saw was that, because I created the Google listing. And so what I saw was, I still had ownership of the Google listing. And so what I saw was, someone had changed the name of Equal Rights for Divorced Fathers.
So who was that?
I don't
Who
know.
did you see?
Excuse me?
Who did you see?
I didn't see anyone.
Okay, what name did you see?
I saw 702 Dads.
And did you obviously go and research that, right? Because you're a professional.
No, I didn't research.
Why wouldn't you research that? You're a professional. This is how you make your money.
I don't, because it seemed like, for me, that it was a disguise that was going on, because when you have, for me, professionally, when you own a company and you call it a certain name, you try to find that domain name, or you try to use the domain name of the company. That's for my professional.
So did you click on the link and you went to 702 Dads and what did you see?
I didn't click on the link.
So you just didn't bother to investigate? Did you go to Who Is? You know what that is, right?
Yeah, I know what it
The
is.
Federal Registry, right? Any web designer would know that, right?
Yes,
Okay, so did you go there to research and see who owned that web page?
no,
Why not?
wasn't my concern.
Why wouldn't it be your concern? You were about to make a significant change that actually resulted in this lawsuit. Why wouldn't that be of a concern to you personally and professionally?
Because it wasn't my website.
So it just didn't matter?
For me, I thought that the information on the website was interesting, could have been true. I didn't expect it to be false, but it wasn't my website.
Okay, I'm talking about my website,
I don't know anything.
the one
about
that
your
you
website.
redirected.
I don't know anything about your website.
And you really didn't give a darn what you did to my business or any of the individuals who depend upon my business, did you?
I cared about the business, and I didn't like the way that things were handled.
At the time that you did what you did, you knew nothing of it, correct?
I knew about the business.
You didn't know anything about me.
You're correct. I
Thank
didn't know
you.
anything about
So you didn't know and you didn't care. And for how much money was this going to pay you?
$20.
For
Well,
20 bucks.
Actually, for one web page, I only charged $99 or $100 for one full web page, and it was only one web page.
Okay, but you were out 20 bucks in costs, right?
I would have recouped that.
How are you gonna recoup that when you said you charge 100 bucks and it cost you out of pocket 20? That's a net 80, right? Do you have some mathematical formula that would say that that's not a net 80?
No, I do not.
Okay,
but
so for
usually-
80 bucks, you did all these things as a professional, correct?
I don't see what your point.
Correct?
I still don't see your point.
Did
So
you
the
or
question
did you
is,
not?
did you in fact do this? Did you redirect the traffic from that website to the other website?
Yes.
Okay. Next
Did
question.
you even care what damage you were going to do to my business, to the existing business, to these individuals that depend upon that business for their income and to feed their families? Did you even care?
It wasn't for me. I didn't do it.
I'm
for
just
myself.
asking you if you cared. It's your job, right?
It's my job. Yes, I care about doing my job correctly.
Okay, so you don't care about who you harm when you do your job?
I usually don't try to harm people. But
Okay,
when
but you did this time.
I did this time because
Okay,
it seemed
so
like a matter of
did
public
you
interest.
care?
I did.
Why do it if you care?
I cared because it was a matter of public interest, and I felt that the information probably shouldn't be out there.
Had you read about me prior to posting this, that I was this great grand
I got
public figure somewhere? Just answer the question, please.
I got Google reviews.
Beforehand, and you were following my business eagerly and exciting?
No,
Okay, can you tell me about the 100 of Google reviews that were positive? Did you consider those?
I did take those into consideration.
Okay, so there's 117, and there's a couple of people that were dissatisfied, and 111 versus 6, you thought that's worth destroying a business. That's just my question, yes or no?
Did you have 111 reviews at that time?
You would know. You were following.
You didn't.
I didn't.
No,
Okay, how many 100 did I have?
there was no 100.
How many did I have? Tell the jury. You checked it out now. We know now, that's out. How many did I have?
There was no 100. I don't remember exactly.
Give us a
the amount.
ballpark. I mean, it's a big ballpark. Just throw one out there. Throw a number.
I would say about 50,
Maybe 50?
Maybe
Could have been
50.
75 maybe?
maybe.
Creeped
Close
into
to.
80, 90-ish?
No, not that far.
Where am I at today? I'm sure you're looking.
No, I don't have access to that.
Well, you seem pretty obsessed with me and my business and my people and my family. Tell me about, did your obsession lead you to continue to follow it?
Excuse me?
Has your obsession led you to continue to follow my Google reviews?
No, there's no obsession with you. I'm in a lawsuit.
In
You're
fact-
suing me. You're suing me. I have no obsession with you. You're suing me and you're accusing me of things that I didn't do. I did not steal anything. I did not hijack anything. I created things. That's completely different.
In fact, you posted that I pay for reviews.
The testimony wasn't able to be put in here, but
I'm just asking you a question, it's yes or no. You posted, I pay for reviews.
yes, I posted that.
Okay, what proof or what fact do you have that I ever paid for a review? And I just want to know proof. Not something you heard, but tell me what proof you have that I ever paid for a review.
I don't know how I would prove that.
So that would be a lie,
But
wouldn't
I
it?
could, I believe somebody could testify to that.
That would be a lie, wouldn't it?
I believe somebody could testify to that.
I believe there's somebody in the world that might could testify to that. I believe there's probably 1 billion people that couldn't, or maybe 6 or 8 billion. That's my belief. What's your belief?
I believe Arturo Sarosa can testify to that.
Arturo Sarosa,
I
that's your
believe-
belief.
I
Hold on,
believe-
hold a second, sir. It's a real simple question. Did you ever talk to Arturo Sarosa?
Yes,
And did he ever say that Mr. Harris paid for reviews?
yes.
And when did he have this statement to you?
Um,
Because previously you said you didn't know anybody, now you're saying Arturo was the one. So when did Arturo Sarosa
this
tell you
was-
that Mr. Harris paid for reviews?
This was after the lawsuit.
Okay, so that's after you posted. What information did you have before you posted it that would give you a basis to post that?
I posted that after the lawsuit.
Okay? And after the lawsuit, but I'm asking you this because you just said that this conversation with Arturo happened later.
I
Did
didn't-
the conversation happen before or after you posted that?
The conversation happened before I posted that.
Okay, next question, Council.
You don't have anything to suggest that I ever paid anything for a Google review.
But other than somebody else's testimony who could probably testify to it,
And he was here yesterday and didn't bother to, did he?
I don't think he was able to.
Okay.
Did anybody ever ask him that question, Mr. Franklin? Did you ever hear anybody ask him?
No, I didn't hear anybody ask.
But you are firmly now, you're gonna swear under oath that you know that I pay for Google reviews?
I don't know if what he said is true.
Okay. Now, you review people regularly on Google, don't you?
Review people?
Yes.
Not regularly, but yes, I review people.
Do you have more than 100 reviews you put on businesses?
Probably.
How about 157?
I've been doing this for 20 years.
Do you review businesses that you've never been to?
No, I don't really review, no, I don't review
Hey,
businesses.
didn't you review Mr. Needham's firm and you've never been a customer of his,
I'm
correct?
not a customer, but I've spoken with Mr. Needham and I've talked to Mr. Needham several times and I like Mr. Needham.
And you think that's a basis to review a firm as to whether they're competent to practice law?
If you like someone, why not post a review?
Fair enough.
That's all.
And if you hate someone, then you go after them,
That's all I
right?
said. I don't hate anyone, but I feel like if somebody's doing a disservice to the community, then I think they should be notified of it.
Now,
And
you
the community should be notified of it.
You told the jury that you originally went to equal rights because you were seeking custody of your children, correct?
Yes.
You're really going there because you weren't paying child support, right?
Excuse me?
You were really there because you weren't paying your child support.
I didn't,
Objection.
What basis, Counselor?
Your Honor, there's no evidence that he was there for not paying child support. He told them, the jury, why he.
And so he's cross-examining his statement. He made a statement that he went there to retain custody of his children.
That's correct.
And the attorney is now crossing him as the legitimacy of that statement. That he made
I withdraw the question.
I didn't file anything to change any child support.
DA's office was after you, weren't they?
Yeah.
You got incarcerated for not paying, right?
Yeah, before, yeah.
Why not pay your child support? Is it honest not to pay your kids their support and take care of them?
Well, a lot of the times you would have to have money to do that.
Well, you told the jury here you're super concerned about the community, but you're not super concerned about your own offspring, are you?
I am, and I
Well,
pay
you think
myself.
supporting your kids is something that would be a matter of public concern and a matter of improving the community, just paying for your
Absolutely.
kids' simple needs?
Absolutely. Also spending time with your kids.
Is that more important than supporting them?
I have a home and I can support my kids at my home, but yes, I do pay my child support. Sometimes I've ran into hard times and wasn't able to pay what they had asked me to. But every time I went to court, I had money with me. They wanted me to do more. Sometimes they often did things that were kind of disrespectful because I came in there a couple of times with $400 to $600 and they wanted $800. So they put me in handcuffs because I only have $600 instead of $800. And so,
Because you hadn't paid for how long?
um,
Years, months,
I'm-
years? What, how long?
I've been working and trying to, I struggle. Like, there's a lot of times where I struggle, but I do the best, and my children love me. So I don't feel like, if my kids were with me, I would make sure that they eat. I always make sure that everybody eats. Matter of fact, I raised six kids. All of them are doing well.
6 kids. I've raised kids that didn't belong to me.
Okay.
Right now, I'm working with.
So
my
it's all
wife's
right
a-
as long as you
my-
take care of
My
her.
wife's a foster parent now,
Not to be your
and I help
financial.
my wife.
Okay, you don't live with your wife, do you?
No, I don't live with my wife,
Okay.
but I help my wife with the
Well, I just,
foster
that's,
kids.
I got your answer.
Okay.
The DA thought you needed to go to jail, right?
Yeah,
You've been to jail more than that, right?
yeah, my history, I have no problem with my history.
You're-
So if you want to talk about that, we can talk about it. I have no problem with my history.
I just want to clarify, you don't know anybody's last name, correct?
I know certain people's last name, but I
Sure
don't
know
know
mine,
I
don't you?
don't know everyone's. I know your name now.
Yeah, you put it out there quite a bit, right? You're well aware of my last name.
I know your name now, yeah.
But you don't know any of your friends' last names.
I know some of my friends.
What's Aaron's last name?
I don't know Aaron's last.
Thank you.
I'm not
Who's this
sure.
Ryan, this phantom?
Not
What's
sure.
his last
Hold
name?
on, that's a question. What's Ryan's last name?
That phantom.
I believe it was Whitney or something like that, or I'm not exactly sure.
Do you have the paperwork from him that would have his name on it?
No,
What kind of a business owner just takes information from someone to publish and doesn't get their name?
I did get his name. I told you his
What was
name.
his last name?
I don't remember,
Okay.
just like we don't remember.
And you lost his card, correct, when you cleaned out your wallet?
I didn't get the card.
Okay, at your deposition, you recall saying you got the card and you lost it conveniently out of your wallet.
I didn't, did I say it was out of my wallet?
Do you remember when you cleaned out your wallet? At least that's what you told me under oath.
Okay.
Okay. And you remember you said you gave him like a stack of 10 papers or something like that, but you lost those too.
I gave him a stack of 10
He
papers.
gave you a stack of papers and you lost those too.
I don't have that. That's
And
correct.
you don't have an email for this phantom, do you?
No, I don't.
You don't have a phone number for the phantom, do you?
I had a phone number.
You had one, but that got destroyed or lost with your phone. Is that right? You got a new phone?
I've been going through different phones.
So you go
I
through
have-
phones a lot, right?
I've struggled a few
Okay.
times.
And you don't ask last names because that's part of your street code as a gang member, is that right?
Objection.
What's the objection, Counselor?
Well, but I'm not sure where the gang members come in. I mean, that's prejudicial.
I understand.
I don't have a problem, man.
Sir, do you normally, when you do business arrangements with individuals, get their full name?
Usually get some information
Okay.
from them, usually.
Next question, Counselor.
Okay. And Metro has you as a registered gang member, is that right?
What relevance?
Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department?
What relevance does it have?
Sir, you answered the question. Your counsel has the right to make an objection in regards to
I
that.
object.
On the grounds of
Relevance.
sustained
Your Honor, can I be heard on
approach. Counsel? Sustained. Next question, Counselor.
that? Why don't you give people's last names?
I currently do. A lot of my business.
I'm asking you before when you posted. I don't care what you currently do.
Excuse me?
When you posted this, why didn't you get people's last names?
I said I didn't remember his last name.
Okay. You remember at your deposition where you stated you don't ask people's last names, that's not what you do?
When you asked about my gang affiliation.
Your Honor, may I, and what is your gang affiliation?
Right now, there is no gang affiliation.
Your Honor, may I publish the deposition of Mr. Franklin?
Go ahead. Mr. Clerk.
But you did have gang affiliations, correct?
According to Las Vegas Metropolitan Police.
Are they a reliable source?
I wouldn't say so.
You don't like them at all?
I didn't say I didn't like them. I wouldn't say that they're a credible source because I never claimed that I was from a gang to them.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
Approach.
I'm gonna ask you to turn to page 162, if you would.
162.
Page 162, Counselor.
So are they liars?
Excuse me?
Please?
They put me in the gang file for 3 different gangs that I never told them I was a part of, just because I was with those people. So I believe I think that's a lie.
Do you remember early on in discovery?
What page you said?
Do you remember early on in
162?
discovery?
Hold on, counsel, you asked him to look at this particular page. What page?
162.
Okay, so looking at page 162, are you asking him to refresh his recollection, or what's the basis for this question?
Well, I haven't got to that portion yet, Judge. Do you remember early on in this litigation when I sent some requests over to you to ask for information about who the publisher of the website was?
Is it in here?
No, sir, he's asking you a question. Put the deposition down for a second. He's asking you a question about whether or not you asked him that question. Okay?
What was the question again?
Do you remember in discovery, I sent over some documents to you and asked who the author of the website was? Do you remember what you responded?
I don't remember.
Okay. Do you remember not knowing who it was? Not having a name?
No,
You don't remember that?
I never told you I didn't have a name.
Okay. And you just didn't want to reveal the name, is that right?
Correct.
And why was that?
Because I feel that it was your duty to give information like that. I feel that the burden of proof was on you.
My job to figure it out, huh?
You're an attorney. I believe that you knew what you know what to do. But
Could you go to page 29 of your deposition? Maybe that'll help to refresh your recollection of what you actually said.
So go to page 29, sir.
29.
Would you like him to review, counselor?
1 second, Your Honor, I'm sorry about the delay. You get to page 29. Page 29, lines 1 through 3. If you just read that, do you recall the answers being, questions being asked and answers given?
So he's asking you to read page 29, lines 1 through 3. Read that, and then once you're done, just let him know you've read that section.
1 through 3, it starts at 1 starts.
Read it to
at-
yourself, sir.
Oh, okay.
It's just to refresh your recollection.
Okay, so I have to go back here. Okay.
You remember at that time that I asked you questions and you gave me answers?
Yes.
You remember you were under oath at that time?
Okay.
Said yes?
Yes.
You swore to tell the truth at that time, correct?
Yes.
Do you remember me asking you the question about why it was a secret that you didn't want to reveal the name of this family?
At the time, I didn't do, I've never done depositions.
I'm just asking, what was your answer?
Okay, you want me to read the answer?
What was your answer at that time to me when I asked you that?
Okay, it said that I didn't want to incriminate myself.
Thank you. Why on earth would that incriminate you?
I don't know, I'm not an attorney, but I know that when you tend to start saying too much, attorneys can use that against you in the court of law. So I didn't want to incriminate myself by trying to say too much or trying to give too much information. I felt that the burden of proof is on you. I'm not an attorney, so I don't know how the things work, and that's exactly what I said here.
Okay. But were you concerned about being incriminated criminally?
I was concerned about being incriminated.
And did you recall that I went on and asked you a little more about that? I asked you, as I was doing my discovery and taking your deposition, which is how I fulfill my burden of proof, I asked you why not give me his last name. Do you remember that? And could you go to page 30, and maybe that'll help to refresh your recollection of what you said at that time under oath.
Okay.
And just specifically if you refer to lines 6 through 9.
Okay. Page 30, yeah, okay. 6 through 9?
Does that help to refresh your recollection of what your answer was at that time?
Yes, that's good. You just stated that.
What was that?
You want me to read it?
Sure. What was your answer?
Because usually where I come from, I try not to reveal people's information. It's just a normal thing for me.
Why is that? In
Because,
business, don't we, what's the secret? You're a business person, correct?
yeah,
So what's the secret?
well,
I don't think that you should give people, I don't think you should like tell people on other people like that. Matter of fact, especially if you're a business owner that has a relationship with a person, I think you should be able to talk to that person.
But that's not the answer you gave me at the time, right?
No, that's not the answer.
Okay, so would you look at lines 14 and 15, and maybe that'll help to refresh your recollection of what you told me at that time under oath and not what you're telling me here today.
Okay, in my past, I was involved in gangs.
And that was why.
I would say that had something to do with it because I learned to be loyal to certain people. And I don't think everybody has that trait. So I try to be as loyal as I can to friends and family and anybody that I can, unless you deserve disloyalty, unless you show that you're not loyal to somebody, then it doesn't matter.
And you're never going to disclose the name of who actually wrote that paperwork due to that royalty, are you?
I did
Your
disclose.
loyalty, are you?
I did disclose it though, even though I didn't want to, I did.
But you've never disclosed the name of anybody
Yes, I did.
prior to your deposition being taken in this litigation, did you?
Prior to my deposition, no.
Kept that a secret.
I kept it, I didn't want to tell nobody. He asked me not to tell nobody and I didn't want to tell nobody.
When did he ask you this? I can't wait to hear.
I told you that in my deposition. You want to go to that page?
I'm asking you now.
Because he was going through,
No, I'm asking you, when did he ask you that?
at the time when I talked to him.
Okay, how long did you talk to him for?
Good time.
No, I'm just asking how long.
I don't know, I wasn't looking at the clock.
Can you estimate?
Good 30, 40 minutes,
30, 40 minutes?
possibly, or more.
You don't know?
I wasn't looking at the clock. It was an event, we were sitting down talking.
He was a stranger to you, correct?
Yeah, he was pretty, yeah. I didn't know him before that.
So you just tell me, I guess, to explain for the jury. So the stranger came to you at an event?
At an event where I was announced as a graphic and website designer, yes.
Okay, and the stranger came to you, and what did the stranger say?
He said,
His family.
he said he wanted me to build a website and he had some information and, that he wanted me to put on it. And he talked about it for a little while.
And then?
And then I took the information and he put a phone number on it and I went and did it.
And that's conveniently gone, right? It's disappeared, that information.
Yes.
Okay. And you spoke to him again?
I tried to speak to him again several times and didn't get a response. I believe he wanted to keep it, he chickened out.
Why would you believe he chickened out? You used those
Because
words,
he didn't
chickened out, and you
respond.
actually posted that online.
Because he didn't
Was it
respond.
Why would he chicken out of
I
something?
didn't know.
Hold
I
on,
don't
let
know
him
if
finish. So wait, so you're gonna need to wait for the next question,
Why would you say he chickened out?
okay?
because he didn't respond after that.
So, when you use the word chicken, don't you think that that has a connotation like he knew what he was doing was wrong?
I wouldn't speculate what he,
You said chicken, we're not trying to speculate, those are your words.
well, he said he wanted to remain anonymous.
And in fact, you knew it was wrong because you went to domains by proxy to try and hide your identity, correct?
No, I did not go to domains by proxy to try to hide my identity. That's a common practice when you build a website for someone else and you want to transfer the name over to the company or person who had the website, then and that's a service from GoDaddy that is just one click of a button and it goes to domains by proxy. That's not a separate company. I don't think it's a separate company, but it's a click of a button on GoDaddy.
Cost you $10, right?
Yes,
You.
yes.
Now, just a few wrap-up questions here. You had an opportunity to avoid the suit. I did give you that opportunity, correct?
I tried to take the opportunity.
Okay. But you were not going to say the name of this individual in any of those letters that the jury had an opportunity to review. So why not? Why not say a name to me in the letter? Why not?
Why would I help you go sue somebody?
Well, because you knew it was wrong. You said he chickened out, you knew it was wrong, right? Why wouldn't you want to help the community and help me? And help those
I don't know
that you were so concerned about earlier on in your testimony?
I don't know you. Ernest was not my friend at the time. I just did a job, a service.
That's it. And you didn't care, did you? You didn't care who you heard.
I cared because I knew about the company. I knew about equal rights for divorced fathers.
But
Everybody in my community knew about equal rights for divorced fathers. The company's been around for a long time helping people. I got referred to the company by a friend of mine. I referred the company to other people.
And out of all those people, you've not been able to bring one here today to testify that things haven't gotten better at that business. Not one. Is that correct?
Why would I bring someone into your lawsuit?
You didn't name one witness, correct?
Why would I bring someone into your lawsuit?
Please answer the question.
No, I did not name one witness.
You didn't bring one single document to this litigation over the course of 3+ years, did you?
It's not my burden to prove anything.
I'm just asking you. You didn't disclose one thing when asked.
No, and it's not my burden to prove anything.
Okay. And in fact, you have essentially done nothing.
It's not my burden to prove anything.
And you can't name the name of one individual who could come here and testify that that business hasn't gotten better.
I probably can. I could name.
No, I'm not asking what you probably could. You haven't done that.
I haven't done that, no.
Okay. You didn't bother to list one person, and you can't give us one full name right now.
I probably could, but I can probably give you hundreds.
But you can't.
I probably can give you hundreds. But I
But
won't.
you never bothered and you won't. Because of the street code, right? The gang code.
I think because of the hundreds, maybe some of the hundreds of people that you know that you haven't given a name.
But it wouldn't be one of those 100 Google reviews or the 80 or whatever it was, the number you didn't know
Possibly.
at the time you saw it.
Possibly, why don't you subpoena them?
Okay. So, you stated that some of the content on the website was your work, correct?
I made it look good.
Okay, and how'd you make it look good? You think it looks good?
I think it looks good in the context of what's on there.
You think my picture looks good?
In the context of what's on the website, a person being
That good work? You proud of that?
a person being less than sincere and untrustworthy. I think it seems like that because
But at the time, I'm asking you, when you published it, you knew nothing about me. So I'm trying to get to what you did when you created it.
well, the
Let's not talk
information-
about anything after.
Okay.
Mr. Frank, try to focus on at the
I
time
will.
of publication and you're scraping my photo.
I will. The information was about equal rights for divorced fathers before and equal rights for divorced fathers after.
Okay. Now, did you pick up the phone and call Ernest before you published?
Ernest was not my friend at the time.
Is that a no?
No,
Did you pick up the phone and call me before you published?
no.
I was easy to find, right? Because you found me on the web and you've been following my Google reviews, right?
It's not my, I don't.
No, I'm asking you. You didn't
No.
bother to call me.
No,
My number's out there.
no, you're not my friend.
My number's out there everywhere, right?
I wouldn't, I would call a friend.
Yes or no?
No.
My number's not out on the internet?
Oh, I don't know.
It was there when you changed where it was going, right?
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah, you have my phone number right there. in front
Yeah,
of
it stayed on the Google listing.
you. Did you push your finger on the phone?
The phone number never changed.
Okay, but you didn't call me.
And surprisingly, I think nobody else did.
So no?
Huh? No.
Okay, because you're the publisher, right? And you actually said that some of the language on the website, you drafted that yourself.
I did the header.
Okay, and what does the header say?
The header says the truth about Kurt Harris,
I'll just stop you right there.
Yeah.
Why would you say the truth about me when at the time you published, you've already testified you knew nothing about me?
Because at that time.
No, I'm just asking you why.
I'm telling
Okay.
you why. Because at that time, it was talking about equal rights for divorced fathers and you were the owner.
It says the truth about Kurt Harris, correct?
And equal rights for divorced fathers.
Okay, because you wrote it. You're the author.
I wrote the heading.
Okay. What, when you said truth, just tell the jury all of the things about me that you knew to be true at the time that you stole my website, essentially. In my opinion, my words, there it is, man. You took my website, you took it over. When you directed from 702 Dads, what about me did you know that was true?
I know that,
That's
Okay.
contained in your publication.
that's contained in the publication.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, the publication says.
No, not what it says. What did you know to be true?
At the time,
Of course.
I don't always take everybody's word for things.
I just want to
But-
know what you knew.
I can't say that I knew it, but I did not believe it.
Is that the standard
What standard?
of defamatory publication?
I don't.
I got no reason not to believe it, but I don't care whether it's true or false. I just don't have any reason to disbelieve. Is that the standard? I'm asking for a professional standard. You are a teacher.
Yes. You asking for a professional standard?
Yes.
Okay, if I believe that information is true.
But you didn't believe it.
I didn't know.
Correct.
Yeah.
Just get to that standard.
Yeah.
Get there. What is it?
I believed it, but I didn't know.
Okay. So, I'm asking about the standard of disbelief, which you've already stated for the jury.
Mhm.
You didn't have a reason not to believe it.
I
Is
didn't have
that a
any
proper
reason.
standard for a publication for a professional?
For me, well, if I'm building someone's website,
No, I'm just asking, could you give us the standard?
To answer the question, sir, the question is basically based upon your profession, the training you have, and now the training that you basically teach other people about. Do you believe it's appropriate to republish something based upon the standard that you had, that you did not have any basis to not believe it? Is that a good enough standard so that you would basically in public say, I'm gonna repeat it or publish that?
okay, for me, it depends, because if I'm building something for somebody, I don't believe that I have to believe it in order to post it, because it's not mine.
Yeah, but we're not talking about what someone else gives you, not the information that someone else gives you that you just basically take and document and stick it onto the web. That's taking their opinion and putting it on the web. But when you personally add specific language that was not given to you, that you created, what is the standard you believe to show for the validity of those statements that you need to have before you personally put your opinion onto the web?
Well, and according to the information that was on the website, all I did was add a header. That's it. So
That's the only language in the entire posting that you ever added.
I added a header and some art.
Okay, that's it. So the header and the art, that's the only thing that you
That's
created.
the only thing that I
Right?
did.
And in the additional postings that you made, did you ever create any of the language? Did you use any of your own language for any of the additional postings that you did on Facebook pages?
Yes.
Okay, based upon that language that you utilized, what's the standard in your profession that you believe you need to come to before you publish something on the internet or on the World Wide Web, as far as its validity?
I believe it should be true.
Okay, next question, Counselor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you very much, Judge. My picture. How'd you know it was me?
What do you mean? I don't know.
Well, you went on the internet. How'd you know it was me? You didn't know me.
What was it? It said Kurt Harris.
Okay, there's lots of Kurt Harrises out there, though, right? Believe it or not, I've actually Googled me, and there are, right? You know that.
Okay. What's the point?
So how did you know that individual? The picture that you're very proudly said that you created, that's your graphics.
Well, I don't-
Beautiful graphics,
okay.
lovely. How did you know that individual was me
Well, I don't
in
know
the
you
picture?
personally, but I've seen you before.
So then you knew it was me.
I knew.
That's how you knew. Did you see me before?
I've seen you before.
Okay. And so you went out on the web and you found my picture, right?
Correct.
Okay. And where did you get that picture from?
I don't remember, it was on Google.
And under your standards, as a professional, is it okay to take pictures off of the internet and use them for your own personal design or profit in your case?
At the time I did it, it was just to make the website look good enough for the client. I wasn't necessarily gonna keep it on there. Only reason why I just wanted to make the website look good for the client.
I'm just not asking you that, I'm just asking, is it right or wrong to do that?
I don't think it's not, I don't think it's a good thing, but.
It's a bad practice, isn't it?
But in the
And you can actually
context,
just
Well,
sue
let
for
it
it.
finish. You asked a question, is it a bad practice? Answer that question, sir.
I believe it's bad practice under certain contexts.
Okay, next question.
And you can get sued for that, correct?
Yeah,
Okay. And is there any question that you publish this to the world?
is there any question that we've established that?
Just yes or no?
Yes,
Okay. And it went out to the world and anyone could read it, correct?
anyone could read it.
Especially someone that was Googling my business name.
Yes, within 24 hours, yes.
It would go directly to them, right?
If
That's what they would see, right? When they were looking for me.
Yes,
Didn't you think that was damaging and dangerous?
Hold on, counselor. This is the second time with the phone. Turn it off.
This was my phone the first time, guys.
Well, not today.
Wow.
Otherwise, I'll be donating it to the local charity.
can I ask you a question?
I want to wait for the disturbance to that end. Okay, now go ahead and answer.
I think it was relevant.
What's that?
I think it was relevant.
It's wrong, no.
I think exposing somebody who's doing stuff.
Again, you can't expose, I mean, I hate to cut you off, you can't expose somebody you don't know anything about, right?
You can expose somebody you don't know nothing about. I think you can.
So, are you here today saying what you did it was professionally appropriate?
Under the context, I think it was.
Not under context, I'm asking in the standards of somebody who teaches other individuals how to do these things, is that appropriate?
I think it was a matter of public interest.
Okay. My picture was a matter of public interest? My picture.
I think it was a matter of public interest in the context of what the website is about.
What does the public need? What does anybody on earth need in their lives to see my face? Anyone?
Okay. I think that if you take a men's group that's called Equal Rights for Divorced Fathers, I'm gonna explain to you. If you take a men's group that's called Equal Rights for Divorced Fathers, that helps.
This is a hypothetical though, I'm just asking.
I'll-
Why would the jury, why would anybody else?
Counsel, hold on a second. You've asked him why he posted your picture and why he thinks it's of public interest. That's the question is, why is that of public interest? That's the question you asked. Answer that question. Why do you think his photograph is of public interest?
Because the company name was Equal Rights for Divorced Fathers. I think it's a matter of public interest because apparently you worked for that company for a long time. You helped out this organization that you've been bashing for the last 4 days. You worked with this man who's helped you.
Judge, I'm just saying it's non-responsive.
No, Counsel, here's his answer. You asked him for why he did it.
But
His-
my picture,
And you're asking him, Counselor, it's his
In
personal
the
opinion.
context, in the context of the website, you're bashing a company that you bought that helped out the community under Ernest Del Casal, which helped you he helped George Saflita, he helped Scott Caterer, he helped George Boyer, he helped Arturo Sarosa, he helped me. I think he helped, and he's helping everybody. And as far as me being, like I said, he wasn't a friend before. He was not my friend. After this lawsuit and finding out all of the stuff that's going on, he became my friend. He's a friend now. But after seeing what he's done for you guys, all of the things that he's done for you guys, and then the man's 71 years old, and then you turn everybody who he brought into the organization, You turned everybody against him who he brought into the organization. The community I grew up in, everybody knew about this company. Everybody referred this company. It was a place where you can go to get help when you didn't have that much money and you didn't want to pay large attorney fees. That's what I knew about the company. Now it's owned by a lawyer and turned into a law office, and fees go up and things change. It's no longer a men's group. I felt that that was a matter of public interest. And I feel today that that's a matter of public interest. And I think that for a person who calls this man your friend, if you call this man I don't have a lot of friends. Matter of fact, I don't have no friends. The only friends I had I left them back a long time ago because I didn't feel any.
Judge, I'm just gonna move to strike this time. It's just non-responsive.
So basically, what did you do, sir?
It was totally non-responsive.
One second, Franklin. These are the reasons why you posted Mr. Harris's photograph and put the line through it, the circles, because you believe that he did something bad to this organization? Okay, next question.
But your prior testimony was you didn't know at the time. I'm still trying to get back to when you did it. Please answer the question. At the time you did that, you had no idea.
I don't always believe everything somebody says.
Correct, but you do publish it.
I was paid to publish it.
And then you
Well,
wrote
I was
words,
supposed to be
and then,
paid.
sorry, I'm not
I'm
done with
sorry.
my question. And then you wrote words, in your own words, your language, your defamation about the truth about me.
After reading the content, yes.
Okay. So you leaped to the conclusion that it is true.
Did you turn it into a law office?
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. And you wrote that content, and is it wrong, and please answer the question. Is it wrong to use an image off the internet for your own personal profit?
I didn't profit.
Is it wrong?
If it's a matter of public interest, I don't think so.
Okay. Can you point to any federal law
I'm
that
not a lawyer.
supports your thoughts?
I'm not a lawyer.
In fact, you know that you were trying to make a profit off this, correct?
Can you prove it's wrong?
And you know that you were trying to make a profit, correct? And yes, I can.
Okay.
So, you knew you were trying to make a profit off it. Okay.
I built
Yes,
websites.
yes, and you know the Getty Images, they go after people all the time, correct? You do know that, right?
Getty Images?
Getty Images, they
I've
sue
never-
people all the time, correct?
I don't know.
You don't know that?
I don't know what Getty Images does.
Okay, you don't know that.
I've never used Getty Images.
Haven't talked about them in your classes?
Yeah. Yeah, I've talked about Getty
I'm
Images,
sorry.
but I don't know.
Let me just ask you a couple of questions. You created all the graphics, right?
Yes,
You did that all on your own, right?
yes,
And you put a big X through the equal rights, correct?
yes,
This organization that you beloved and that you embraced, you put a big red X through it, correct?
yes.
Okay.
That you embrace.
And again,
also.
not one person. You've not corroborated anything with one person that you've asked to come testify here today that was a real customer or client of mine. One. Correct?
Correct.
No further questions.
Did you,
Can you redirect counsel?
yes, sir, did you steal their website?
No, I did not.
I have no further questions.
Any questions from the jury? Mr. Needham, do you wish to ask him questions?
Just you.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, we'll get that one question. Because Mr. Needham, are you gonna ask him this because it would be your case in chief?
Yeah.
Counselor's not cross-examination. I told him I will allow
You got
him
me,
to do
you
it.
got me, Judge, I'm sorry. Jump the gun.
It's okay. Counsel, go ahead and ask your questions, and then afterwards I'll have you guys all approach for the questions from the jury. Mr. Needham, your witness.
Thank you. Mr. Frank, I just want to clarify or confirm a few things, okay?
Yeah.
Just from my own notes. You mentioned that you create a website, as I understand, and you mentioned it was put under construction within 24 hours.
Yes,
So that would include Mr. Harris's photograph too, correct?
yes,
And before you created this website, did you mentioned you had no conversations with Mr. Del Casal?
No,
When you were
I'm
first.
just gonna object, Your Honor, I guess foundation, time and place,
oh, makes sense.
I'm
That's
I'm
true.
on to a new question.
Makes sense.
Okay, it's not a new question, go ahead, but let's basically make sure our questions are specific and it's on you.
You were when you were first contacted by Mr. Harris, it was his letter, correct, that you just talked about?
Yes,
Okay, and you responded to Mr. Harris by way of letter, correct?
yes,
I think we looked at those yesterday, those were exhibits. In your letters, did you have a letterhead at the top with your address and phone number?
yes.
Okay. Do you know how many letters you wrote to Mr. Harris?
I think I wrote 2,
Okay. And you had your phone number on the letter.
yes,
Did Mr. Harris ever call you?
no.
Do you know why he didn't call you?
objection, Your Honor, all for speculation.
Sustained.
And at the time you were sued in this case, the website was down, correct? It was no longer active?
Yes.
So why were you sued, you believe?
Objection, Your Honor, all for speculation.
Sustained.
I think you answered that question. earlier.
Objection, Your Honor, to the commentary and the
I have no
narrative
further
of counsel.
Hold on, counsels, we don't do this.
I have no
Objections
questions.
done. You have what, Counselor?
I have no more questions.
Okay, Counselor, any cross-examination on those direct questions?
Yeah, just, do you have any proof that it was under construction within 24 hours?
No, do you have any proof that it wasn't?
Counsel, sir, all he asked you is if whether or not you personally had any proof that it was actually taken down within 24 hours of
Well-
construction.
Yeah, because I put it under construction.
Okay.
Okay, and do you have a printout of that?
No, I don't have a
Do you have a
print.
copy of that we can see?
No,
Do you have something, some click, some button, something that you could demonstrate to us to show us that to prove it?
right now, the website is, no, it's only a domain name.
Do you have a screenshot of the under construction screen?
No, I don't.
Okay, and you're demanding 50 grand for it, right?
At this point, after paying all of the attorney fees and all of the accusations that.
Is that a
you-
yes or no?
Right now,
50,000?
right now, the website is up there for 50,000.
Thank you, no further questions.
Okay. Counsel's approach. Sir, from the bench, I'm going to ask you a few questions. During the time of your financial difficulties, did you have some kind of employment?
During the time of my financial difficulty,
Yeah, were you employed, because you mentioned that you were a teacher, so were you employed during these times of financial difficulty?
no, not during the time of financial difficulty.
Do you have a degree of some nature at the time of this, such as an educational, higher level education?
Not a higher level education. I'm certified, I do, I'm a Adobe certified educator.
Okay. Did you receive payment prior to publishing the website?
I did not receive payment back from publishing my website.
Okay. There's gonna be a little more here on this one. What was the exact scope of services you were to provide for this unnamed client?
I did name the client, but also, just a one webpage.
Okay. And is that all that he asked you to do?
Yes, just one webpage.
Okay, did this request specifically include co-opting or redirecting the Google landing page hyperlink for ERDF?
It did not,
Okay. How was the content provided to you?
on a piece of paper.
Okay. Was it necessary to change the ERDF hyperlink for client X to review the draft content?
That was an attempt to get him to be able to see it. I tried to send it to him in several different ways.
You were in fact the person that was responsible for the redirection, correct? You created that redirection?
I changed the Google link, yeah.
Okay. Did you talk to your client and tell them how they could access the article through the redirected hyperlink for their review?
I tried to.
Do you always publish without approval of the review from the client?
I don't always publish without approval. I was trying to get approval.
Okay. You stated in one of the reply letters, Exhibit 34 to Mr. Harris, or post, that your client wishes to be silent. Did you engage in some form of communication with this client subsequent to the filing of the lawsuit and your replies in order to know these are the client's wishes?
At the time, when I got the information, that's what he said.
Okay. So the question is, once the filing of the lawsuit or replies, did you have any more communication with this
I didn't.
client? Okay. You also asserted that you were not paid for these services by the client and you made the post in order to get paid. How does perpetuating a negative campaign against Mr. Harris and the people still working at ERDF incentivize that client to pay you?
Excuse me?
So you got this client,
Yeah.
okay? You've now posted the website. How does perpetuating the campaign against Mr. Harris and the people that work there at ERDF incentivize that client to pay you?
I did what he said.
Okay? Did you receive payments since the depositions or these further posts and reposts after the lawsuit was filed?
Did I receive payment? No, I haven't, still haven't received payment.
How many hours would you estimate it has taken you to create all these new internet pages, graphics, podcasts, and reposting of reviews, etc.?
How many hours?
And how many hours have you spent doing all this?
I think I spent probably about an hour just posting on, an hour of posting on my page. And then, I don't know, I couldn't estimate.
Okay. Did you inform Mr. Del Casal when these new web pages and postings were available and how to find them?
No,
Isn't continuing to perpetuate the negative posts and reposts providing even more services for the non-paying client for free without compensation to you?
at that point, after the lawsuit, it wasn't for the client anymore.
Those are all the questions from the bench. Counsel, do you have any follow-up questions to those questions?
No, Judge, I don't.
Counsel? No. Thank you, sir. You may be excused.
No, I had one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Judge.
I didn't hear my signal.
I'm sorry, it was just, he was, one of the comments there was, you also posted on Nevada Business List, correct?
Correct.
And what day did you post on Nevada Business List to get the website posted?
I don't remember. Can you refresh my memory?
Yeah, approach.
Approach.
I'm gonna show you. Exhibit 71. Sorry, Exhibit 70.
Mhm.
Page 1 of Exhibit 70.
Okay,
You recognize that as Nevada Business List, right?
yes.
Okay. And you just stated to one of the questions from the jurors that you were just trying to get out there just on this Google page, correct?
Excuse me?
You were just trying to get it out there so your client could see it, correct?
Correct,
And did you try other means and mechanisms?
yes,
Okay. And was Nevada Business Listing one of them?
yes,
Is that a Facebook page that you own?
yes.
And what day did you post?
What day did I post?
Yes, what day did you post?
September 28th, September 18th, 2018.
September 18th, 2018, correct? That was
Yeah.
the day that you posted the
Yeah.
website on your Nevada business page?
Yeah,
Okay, so I just want to make a point of clarification for the juror's question. If I can get the auto. So if you posted the website on September 11th, and you took it down 24 hours later, that would have been September 12th, right?
correct. If I put it under construction.
Why would you post this on Nevada Business List 6 days later with a website that was under construction?
Just still trying to get him to see it. However.
Yeah, but it just said
if
it's
you see
under
it-
construction, right? Why would you do that for?
If you see it, if you see there's no picture there. With the websites that I build, if you post a website that's currently up, that picture would show up. If
Okay,
you post a website that's under construction, there's no picture.
but what if I found out about it later after you took it down, when I actually printed this off of your Facebook page?
What about
That
my,
picture wouldn't be there, would it?
excuse me?
When I printed it out, the picture wouldn't be there.
Okay,
But it was sure there when you posted it, right? Because
No,
no business person,
I don't see any evidence of that.
what person on earth would post a link to a website that was non-existent?
Just trying to get a response.
There's nothing there. By your testimony, it said under construction,
You
there's
did
nothing
say-
there, how would you respond to something that was under construction?
So
How would you do that?
Just by clicking on it and calling the person who did the website.
Okay, so it's your testimony here, under oath, and you're swearing this, that you posted on September 18th, this posting, and there was 0 content there, and I'm telling you, you're swearing that.
Yes,
And why would anybody do that?
I already answered that question.
Just getting to pay you?
Just getting the information to the client.
There's no information there. You didn't answer.
There
There's no
is
information.
there. You see what it says up at the top?
No, I see that it says down below here, and it says equal rights for divorced fathers pretends to care for fathers. It looks like there's information there to me.
Okay.
Did you publish that? On the 18th of September, is that a yes?
Yes,
And I'm just trying to get to the why. Why would you do that?
I already explained the reason why.
Are you certain?
I
I know you have no proof of it, but are you certain you put the website under construction in 24 hours, or could have been a few, maybe 10 or 15 or maybe 20 days, much like your estimates in my Google reviews?
I am absolutely certain.
But you have no proof.
And
Thank
you.
you.
You have no proof that I did.
No further questions.
I have no further questions.
Thank you, sir, may be excused. Council's approach. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna break for recess. I know it's a little early for you guys, but what we're gonna do is, it's my understanding and talking with the councils, that more than likely we only have one more witness. So what we'll do is we'll break for lunch. We have to do some procedural aspects in regards to the stuff that the attorneys and myself have to have done to provide to you, because like I told you at the very beginning, once all of the attorneys rest their case, then what I do is I read the jury instructions to you. That's the law. I provide copies to each one of you so you can follow along. So the attorneys and I have to finalize that, so you have those copies before we give them to you. Once I do the jury instructions, then we do closing arguments, and then the case will be submitted to you. Depending upon how much longer this last witness takes and how long closing is, you might have an opportunity to start to do some deliberations today and maybe even come to a conclusion, or you can probably come back tomorrow and finish up your deliberations on this matter. Either way, we'll probably have this thing to you and be able to have this thing resolved by the end of the week. What we're gonna do at this time, we're gonna break for lunch. During this recess, you're admonished not to talk or converse among yourselves or with anyone else on any subject connected to this trial, or read, watch, or listen to any report of or commentary on the trial, or any person connected to this trial by any media information, including without limitation, newspaper, television, radio, or the internet, or form express any opinion on any subject connected with this trial in the case the client submitted to you. You not to do any experiments or investigation regarding any matters raised in this trial, nor are you to post on any social media forums about the trial or attempt to investigate anything you heard in this trial using any form of social media or the internet. We'll see you guys back here at 1 o'clock. My counsel, see you guys back here at 12:30 with jury instructions ready.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Alda.